This is the parking area behind the house. You want to call it the upper parking area. It has mostly 1.5 inch down on top of shale, and then 57's on top of the 1.5 inch limestone. This is all fairly solid and doesn't move around a lot. The shale's been down for about 2 years, 1.5 years. 1.5 inch been down about 10 months, and the 57's have been down about 2 months. And this is the parking area in front of the garage. That's the driveway headed down the hill. Parking area in front of the garage. Looking back up to the parking area, the upper parking area, that's just right behind the house. So now I'll begin walking down the driveway and start and stop so you don't have to look at so much. This is the area where I think we put it on two things. I think we put the limestone on too thick, and then the crusher run that we ordered didn't have nearly enough powder in it, because you can see how I'm washboarding coming up this little grade here. It's 10 miles an hour in a pickup truck, and I can level it off really flat with my blade, and within 3 days it's right back like this. So I think we put it on too thick, and it didn't have enough binder powder in the crushing run. Still on the driveway here. I'm gonna turn around and look back up the driveway. You can see the curve. It's got a good hard shell base that was packed in with a dozer and with many heavy trucks during the construction of the home, which took place in 2019 and 2020. So a lot of concrete trucks and that kind of thing up and down this thing. So the shell underneath this is packed in good. It's just I'm so thick and so loose right here that I feel like you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm guessing this is going to have to be removed. Quite a bit of it, and just dumped. Okay, and then that's pretty much all the grade to what I was talking about, the last 500 feet. Everything else is going to be flat. The road goes off that way, which I'm about to walk. But once again, I'm going to look back up. You can see that's the grade of our that's giving me the trouble right now. I'm going to go to the flat part now. Okay, now we're coming into the switchback, and you can see that's looking back up where it starts to incline and turn around on that hill that way. From this point on, there's very little elevation change. Still didn't get enough powder in the crushing run in through here, and it's still loose. It's thinner though, it's not as thick. If we have to remove, we won't have to remove as much here. And then we're getting out what I'm calling the road. There's about 1,000 feet of this. That sign up there where the fence crosses the road, I'm gonna hit pause and then pick it back up there. Okay, picking it back up here where the fence crosses the road. You can see very little elevation gain. This stone in here, limestone in here, is holding together a little bit better. We'll show you back up to where we came from. There's the switchback. You can see how this road just cuts across this. It's our hayfield here. This is just a little live plot, wildlife plot I plant. Different forage plants every year. I'm gonna hit pause again. Okay, this is at the edge of the wildlife plot on up towards the barn. This stretch here holds pretty good. This again is shale underneath, and we built it up because we had this side of the road had fallen down because of all the heavy construction traffic, and so we built it up with 1.5 inches about 2 months ago. You can see, and then we put the 57s and the crush and run down, and it feels good. I wish the whole driveway was like this. So I think this was the first, I know this was the first load of crush and run that we got from Vulcan, and it obviously had more binder in it. This in here is pretty firm. At least it doesn't ever cause us any trouble driving over it. Hit pause again until I get to the creek. Okay, begin to see how the road enters in off the county road. I'll give you a quick look back to where we came from. This is pretty solid here. This 57 and crush and run settled in, bound up pretty good here, at least a lot better than it did up the hill towards the house. So I plan to redo these bridges before I do this road project so that the water can flow through better and I don't get flooding. Heavy rains, which usually come between February and April, these bridges are undersized and the water gets out and comes over the road. So I would imagine that'll just wash out any new road bed that I put down. So I plan to do that in the immediate future. And then whatever I decide to do with this road here would be a once and for all kind of thing. So that's why you see the 57s and the crush and run stopping right here, is because the flooding would for sure wash it out here. This is just 1.5 inches that I've put in here after last March, after all the flooding. You can see that's why this creek rock is here. It comes down out of the national park, swoops through here, floods up, and basically covers this whole driveway down here, this concrete slab that I put in. But this is extremely hard, 1.5 inches pounded down into this on top of shale, worn in over the years, but just doesn't look very pretty. So ideally it would come to here. Actually, we're thinking about going over the top of these bridges. Once I break these bridges out, center these bridges out, put in better culverts, and then patching them, then we're wondering if asphalt or chip and tar could come over the top of these bridges too and make it all look uniform. And then that's it. At the end of this concrete drive here is the county road up there at the gate where that white pickup is. I'm just putting in a gate right now. And one quick look back up the other way. That's what you got.